Draw a lemon with me using alcohol markers and ink. To get started, we're going to need a light, a mid, and a darker tone of yellow. I'm using alcohol markers, but you can do this with whatever you have on hand. You can use pencils, water-based markers, or whatever you have. I will also be using a light, a mid-tone, and a darker tone of gray. It will probably look best if you use a warm gray or a neutral gray. I will also be using this white gel pen. You can also use a paint pen if you have one. And I'll be using this fine liner. Any fine liner will do. I'm using some acid-free Bristol paper here and taping it down with some cute washi tape. But you can use masking tape or painter's tape as well. And you actually don't even need tape if you don't have any. Everything that I use except for the washi tape is at the links in the description of this video. First, I'm going to start with my lemon shape. This is just going to be a basic lemon, so it's kind of like a squished circle. And I always do this with my lightest color, so if I make a mistake, it doesn't look too bad when I'm all finished. So I'll make my basic lemon shape and then fill it in with the lightest yellow that I have. And I'm keeping in mind that the lemon has a bit of a natural texture, so I don't want to color it in like I would just a big block of color. I'm going in different directions and just giving it a more natural type of texture. Then I'll go in with my medium tone, keeping in mind that in every drawing there's always a light source. And I'm assuming the light source is coming from the top right. So I'm leaving the lightest color exposed as the highlight on the lemon. And remembering that we want to have a bit of a natural texture, so I'm not going in long strokes. I'm doing a sort of stippling type of technique here because I want the texture to look natural. And just darkening that edge a little bit. Now I'll go in with the darkest tone of yellow and do the same thing, but also leaving that mid-tone exposed a little bit. This is to create a gradual change from the lightest color to the darkest color, and keeping in mind that natural texture. Here you'll notice that I'm doing a bit of a feathering technique in an attempt to make the transition from the lightest tone to the darkest tone smoother. Now I'll be making the edge a little bit darker with that same dark yellow and adding a little bit of stippling to give more texture to this lemon. You can layer alcohol markers on top of one another to make a color a little bit darker. Every layer will deepen that color just a little bit more. Now I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but I'm using a warm gray here just to add that little nub on the end. You can do this with gray or brown or whatever color you have. It's not a big part of the lemon, so it doesn't need to be super defined. And I'm adding a little bit of stippling here, just to intensify that natural texture. I'll take the lightest gray that I have and create the largest part of the shadow, creating an oval just below the lemon. And I'll add a little bit of a gray to the bottom of this lemon, where there would be the least amount of light. And I'll take my mid-tone gray and add a little bit of gray where the lemon touches the surface of whatever it's sitting on, so that we have a gradual darkening of the shadow from the edge of the shadow towards the lemon. And just adding a little tiny bit of detail to that little nib. Now you can use your paint pen or your white gel pen and add a little bit of stippling. This is going to pick up the lightest part of the lemon, as if the light is just catching those little dimples all over the surface of the lemon. And I'll finish it off here by adding a little bit of really dark gray for my darkest gray tone and blending it out just a tiny bit so that it looks really dark where the lemon touches the surface that it's sitting on. So let me know what you think, and if you'd like to see more of these tutorials, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!